In this video, I'm going to provide 3 recent updates regarding the marriage green card process, adjustment of status, those who apply for the green card inside the United States with Form I-45 and you're doing it marriage-based. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi with the JQK law firm. We focus on marriage green card cases, helping couples live in the United States and eventually get citizenship. So number one thing that's changed, and it keeps changing, are the forms related to the adjustment of status process. And so you got to be really mindful for that. I did a separate video they should watch about Form I-485 where they're asking a lot more questions about your background that existed before. It's a very troubling issue because the questions are complicated. They're legally complicated. And there's a 10-minute video describing what that issue is. I will put the link in the description below. But it's important to be mindful of that, read all the questions, but also just get the newest version of the form. Without much notice, the government keeps updating it. While I'm recording this the day before, they updated the form I-765 for the employment authorization document. That's the work permit. If you send an old version of the form, it'll get rejected. So you want to be very careful of that. And always make sure you have the most recent updated version of the form. You can check on USCIS.gov for which edition date they're using. And on the bottom left of the form, it'll show what edition it is there so you can make sure it's the right one and to mail it to the right place. So the form updates and the changes in the questions on some of them, especially on Form I-485, are the most important updates I want to share because that creates problems. Secondly, are interviews. They're back in almost every case is getting interviews again. There were about 4 years during the Biden administration where marriage green card interviews were not happening for 99% of the cases because most were approvable with some RFEs and some additional documents, stuff like that. But we're getting inundated with our existing caseload, getting interviews all across the country, as well as people that filed their own with other lawyers are contacting us, asking us to come help prepare them for the interview or to go with them to the interview. Now, the interviews have been smooth for our cases. And so they've been approved, a few days after. At most, it would be a short RFE asking for more documents on the people who come to us. In our cases, we always have all the documents ready ahead of time, so we never get any RFEs in the past at the interview stage. But those are happening. They're smooth. People get very nervous on those, but for the most part, it's just the worst of it is the delays that are happening with it, which are associated with new officers coming on board and asking all the questions on Form I-485, which is like 100 of them. And that's troublesome because it's really annoying to go over, did you recruit child soldiers? Were you a Nazi prison guard in 1945? Kind of questions that are ridiculous to ask because, it's obvious when it's not the case. But new officers will do that. Plus, the government is trying to get 20% of the workforce out and retire them. Right now, USCIS, who's going to be handling the application, needs more employees, but they're letting go of people, especially skilled people. And some people are just frustrated they're leaving. And so makes it very difficult to work there. So these are the delays that you can expect. So these cases are going to take longer and longer. Even for citizenship, it's going to take longer because they have less officers and more work. So you can imagine what's going to happen there. And the third thing I want to mention is what always people talk about is how long does the process take? So there's 3 different processing timelines you're thinking about, 3.5, I guess. The biometrics appointment, once you submit the case, the fingerprints are usually happening about a month after filing. But the first thing is the work permit from I-765. We're getting at 9 out of 10 times those approved in 1 to 3 months after filing. And then 1 out of 10 times it might go 6, 9 months or forever. And then the advanced parole travel document. This is a document that allows you to travel while the case is pending. Those are taking 6, 9 months. And usually in our cases, the green card just gets approved and that form never comes. So it's something to file for if you need to travel or just has backup. But right now, we're just getting the green cards done, and that's a useless form. But as the green card process gets delayed because these interviews will become more and more important to have the advanced parole. Now, in some cases, not all, probably like 30, 40% of the time, they'll approve the work permit and include the advanced parole at the same time with it. But it's inconsistent how it works out. So you just got to be mindful for that. There are ways to request expedite or emergency advanced parole, or even expedites on the work permit if it's taking too long. If there's a special need that you can document, but it's gotten harder and harder to do that. But just be aware of that. And with regard to the green card application itself, we just started getting interviews. We had cases filed in November, December. Right now, I'm recording this in May that are getting interviews. But it could be as fast as 3, 4 months, but more likely it's going to be 6, 9 to 12 months to get the case done with the interview. And depending on when you're going to be watching this, it's going to be more and more in that. So set aside in your head 9 to 12 months easily to get the case done. So in the meantime, apply for the work permit and advanced parole to hold you over if you need those. But just getting them early is the main thing. And the most important thing for us is that the forms are completed properly. You're aware of the documents you need, your background, so they don't hit you with a violation or inadmissibility that you weren't aware of beforehand. We don't want that to happen. And then be prepared for the interview to talk about your relationship, about is it genuine, and the evidence, and to be able to answer the questions without being nervous. Or if you have particular issues like arrest history or past history, you're able to explain them. And that's where we come in. We help people prepare for the interviews and go with them sometimes, depending on the location and the need for the client. One note regarding the timelines is that these are for citizen marriage cases. If you're an LPR, married to a green card holder, how long that's going to take with the backlog and the visa bulletin is going to be years before it's done. Many times our clients become citizens. A petitioner becomes a citizen while the case is pending, and they update the case to become a spouse of a citizen case instead of a spouse of a green card holder case. Even if you update it, they kind of get stuck into this limbo. It still takes longer. So you got to keep contacting the government trying to figure it out. But those are the main updates I can say that's happened in the marriage green card space that we see as the focus of our firm. So we handle these a lot and talk to a lot of people about it. It's the timeline issues that I mentioned, the requirements for the interviews, the biggest one. And practically speaking, for law stuff, it's the form changes that cause practical errors for the wrong edition being sent out. But most importantly, it's that form I-485, the extra questions about your background. Definitely check out the other video I did. It's about unlawful presence if you're violated in the past by overstaying. It's very technical. As the term unlawful presence doesn't apply to some people, applies to others. So you really have to understand what happened with your immigration history. And what we find is most people who go through the immigration process don't exactly know what's going on, what the paperwork is, and it's just too complicated to know. That's where we come in to help. I'm Immigration Lawyer John Khosravi. If you want to schedule a consultation, go to our website and fill out our contact us page, jqqlaw.com/contact. Again, that's www.jqqlaw.com/contact. Fill in the box with your information, and we'll reply with scheduling instructions. Have a good one, and I wish you the best on your marriage green card case.